The state of Florida is known for its theme parks. It has the most visited resort in the world with Walt Disney World. There's the Universal Orlando Resort, SeaWorld, and Busch Gardens, so there are a lot of theme parks to visit in the state. So I decided in this video to take the top 10 best roller coasters in the state and rank them from worst to best. And I will say before jumping in, this video is being made before I go to Universal. That is by far the biggest parks that I haven't visited yet. When I ride Velocicoaster and Stardust Racers, this list is going to be different. So let's start with an honorable mention. This is at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and it's the most inversion heavy attraction at the whole resort, Rock and Roller Coaster. I've only gotten to ride this once, and it's a really fun indoor coaster. The first launch has some good yank, and the thematics you whiz past are really cool, and it exceeded expectations. I'm pretty sure Young Les was playing during the ride experience, but it's been a while since I rode it, aka December of 2023. Rock and Roller Coaster was pretty innovative too. There's another indoor music roller coaster that we will hit up later, and that just blows Rock and Roller Coaster out of the water. But overall, it's great. Now let's begin the list at Busch Gardens, Tampa. The ride that normally gets the longest wait is Cheetah Hunt. Cheetah Hunt is a great family thrill coaster, but it does have a bit of an identity crisis. It's too tame to be considered a thrill coaster, and it's too intense to be considered a family coaster. Besides that debate, Cheetah Hunt is a good time. It has 3 launches with all of them having decent pull. The unique wind catcher tower delivers great views, the transitions are glossy, but those restraints need to go. They deliver unnecessary jolts to the head and neck. If it had lap bars, that would make this jump up quite a few spots on my list. I've ridden this 5 times for right now. Overall, I like it, but I don't love it. I do have a review if you want more personal thoughts about it. Now let's hop over to SeaWorld Orlando. The location of this coaster is the reason why I haven't ridden it a crap ton. It's Icebreaker. Same situation as Cheetah Hunt. I've also ridden this 5 times for right now, and it's a little beast. This is a great example of the saying, never judge a book by its cover. The ride doesn't look too crazy, and the stats are nothing to shout at, but it's the ride experience that you should focus on. There is an airtime pop you get rising into the top hat, and that is the strongest airtime moment in the park. Yes, even stronger than Mako's 5-second floater hill. It is absolutely ejector airtime, and the rest of the layout has a great pace to it. The turnaround delivers strong laterals and positives, the wave turn has a nice floaty feeling to it, and the spike has some good airtime. I just wish the restraints were roomier. There is barely any leg room, but besides that, it's a great coaster. So let's hop back to Busch Gardens, Tampa. There is a ride there called Tigress, which will take the number 8 spot. In my opinion, this is the most underrated coaster on this list. It doesn't get enough attention. Sure, the restraints suck, but for me, it doesn't really take away from the ride experience. The element that caught me off guard was rising up backwards into the non-inverting loop. You get strong positive forces there. Then there's an inline twist delivering wild hang time. The biggest turnoff though is duration. It's a short thing. It only lasts about 45 seconds, but it's a fun 45 seconds. Overall, short but sweet. So next up is a coaster that I hate and also like. Let's head back to SeaWorld for the coaster that put the park on the map, Kraken. This coaster isn't the best, but it had a huge influence on SeaWorld. Without Kraken, we wouldn't have rides such as Mako or Pipeline, but it's pretty good nonetheless. The layout is solid with the 7 inversions and trench usage. It honestly gives me vibes of Montu's trenches. The only thing that is pushing it back is how it rides. It can be pretty nasty when you're rising up into an inversion. It's probably the shakiest coaster at SeaWorld. It's either that or Penguin Trek, and spoiler alert, that's at the number 1 spot. Anyway, Kraken is good, but it's not the best. Just keep your head forward. So let's stay at SeaWorld for the next spot. Right across the pond is the prototype surf coaster, Super Grover's Boxcar Derby. Holy crap, I can't believe it. But to be for real, it's actually given to Pipeline. Like I said, this is the prototype surf coaster from B&M, and it's also pretty underrated like Tigress. How the seats bounce up and down is so revolutionary, and this revived the stand-up coaster. The layout isn't anything too crazy, just a lot of bank turns, but the stand-up moment is easily this off-axis hill that delivers really weird airtime. Your whole body just gets thrusted into the air with no consent, and shout out to the launch for delivering good airtime as well. The only con about Pipeline is the vest restraints. They put a lot of pressure towards your collarbone, and if you ride this on an even numbered row, the rattle is going to be very nasty. So if I had to give advice before riding, ride it on an odd numbered row, especially row 11, that's where Pipeline is at. Overall, love it, but the vests need to be more gentle. So at the number 5 spot, just walk right across the pathway and you'll hit up Manta. Manta was the most surprising coaster when I first visited SeaWorld. Before going, I thought Kraken was going to be better, and I found out I was completely wrong after riding Manta for the first time. The pretzel loop was easily the most surprising moment. At the bottom of it, you're just shoved up really hard against the seat backing and it takes the wind out of you. It's easily one of the most intense inversions out there. I also like how you soar over the pathways and you're by the water. I definitely need to get back on this someday, because my last ride was back in June of 25, and for right now, it's September, so I am due for a re-ride. A coaster that I'm way overdue for a re-ride is Montu, which has been booked out of my top 3. Man, what a ride. Montu is unbelievable. It has an absurdly fast-paced layout with 7 inversions, the most insane of them being the Batwing. You are just slapped in the face with very high forces. It also has a lot of trench usage, which adds another fear factor. You are very close to the ground and you feel like your legs are going to get chopped off any moment. It's also fairly smooth for a coaster over 25 years old. I'm really excited to get back on this in November. And for most of the coasters on this list, I do have reviews for them. You can go check them out in the description. If we are talking about smooth coasters, Mako is up there in the top 3. If you're a fan of glass smooth coasters, coasters that are not too extreme, Mako is easily going to be one of your favorite roller coasters. The floating airtime is very strong compared to the other B&M hypers, and the setting is beautiful right next door to a lake. It's also really cool how you're at the top of the lift hill and you look towards the left. You can see Epic Universe from there on a clear day. You can easily see Stardust as well. But back to Mako, it's really cool how it interacts with the pathway towards the end. And like I said earlier, it's one of the smoothest coasters out there. Try to marathon this as many times as you can when you're at SeaWorld. I do that every time. The layout is really good too. It's also my most ridden coaster at 23 rides for right now. Now for the number 2 spot, this might shock some people and also not shock some people, but I've decided to place a Disney coaster above Mako, specifically Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at Epcot. This is by far the most recent coaster I've ridden when this video is released, and before riding, I've been avoiding spoilers since it opened, aka for 3.5 years, and that wait was absolutely worth it. I've ridden this 8 times and hopefully more soon. The cool thing about Guardians is that there are 6 songs that can play during your ride experience and it's completely randomized. Here's a list of the songs and I got 5 of them. The only one I'm missing for right now is Disco Inferno by the Tramps, and in my opinion, they need to replace that with Black or White by Michael Jackson or Mr. Blue Sky by ELO. If you don't get what I'm saying, sync it up to a POV and you'll thank me later. By far the best experience to ride it in my opinion is on row 9 with Everybody Wants to Rule the World. That's my favorite song and I got that song twice, and one of those rides was in row 9, and that's an experience I'll never ever forget. I was through the mood when we first launched and heard that song play. I'll give a quick demonstration here. Moment of truth. Let's go! Jesus is real! Jesus is real! Let's break it down! Yeah, that's me going nuts. A few days after riding that, my voice was still scratchy, but it's doing better now. But I can't explain how glorious this coaster is. You just have to go to Epcot and try this out. I actually spent my whole day marathoning this, and if this is in your top 10, I will not blame you. I really wish I could put it at the number 1 spot, but I still have to remind myself that Iron Gwazi exists over at Busch Gardens, Tampa. Iron Gwazi is one heck of a ride. It's one of the most surreal coasters in the world, and what else is there to be said about this? It's absolutely insane. The layout is fantastic, and the ride's pace is unbelievable. It takes these elements at an absurd rate, especially the death roll. That whip on that maneuver is a one of a kind on an RMC. That's the closest I got to the Mosasaurus roll on Velocicoaster. If there were any cons about it, it's not about the layout, it's the operations. They normally average out at 3 minutes. Yeah, that's how bad Busch Gardens Tampa's ops are. They take a while, but besides that, you have to try this at least once in your life. You're gonna exit that ride vehicle as a changed person. But that is my list of the top 10 best roller coasters in Florida as of September 2025. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. There will be more ranking videos in the future, and there will be a new video for you coming out in the next 5 days. So make sure to keep that adrenaline pumping, and thanks for watching.